Hey folks, welcome to another video in my Hammock Camping 101 series. Today we'll be talking about pillows. Let's get to it. I've received a couple questions about whether or not a pillow is needed when you go hammock camping. So I thought I would create a video that talks about the different types of pillows that I've used while hammock camping and which ones work best for me. There are two things that I'm looking for when I'm picking a pillow for my hammock. The first is neck support. So I like to have something a little bit behind my neck, not too much, to give my neck a little bit support when I'm laying in my hammock. And two, I'm looking for some insulation. So my underquilt typically comes up to my shoulder, which leaves my neck and my head kind of exposed with no insulation. So having a pillow for me also provides a layer of insulation for my head. Now obviously you don't have to use a pillow. I like using a pillow, but I mean you can definitely, when I do sleep, I mean this is pretty comfortable when I'm not using a pillow, that you can put your head on the side and it gives you a little support. The issue for me of not using a pillow is, like I talked about earlier, I like having a little support under my neck, not a lot. But primarily, I want some insulation. I don't want my head to get cold. Because if my head gets cold, my whole body is going to get cold. And so I like having that pillow as insulation to give me a little bit of insulation when I'm sleeping at night. So I have tried sleeping without a pillow. I think that's very doable. But for me, my head was getting cold during the night, and I wanted a pillow to provide that level of insulation and a little bit of support underneath my neck. So one type of pillow that I use is my Puffy, which is really great. So this Puffy stuffs into its own pocket and makes a little pillow. And this is wonderful, as I can just put it underneath my neck. You know, it gives me just the amount of support that I need, and it provides some insulation as well. The only issue I have with the Puffy is that if I get cold during the night, I want that layer of insulation on my body. And so I have to take it off, and then I no longer have a pillow when I'm sleeping in my hammock. So that's really the only issue that I have with this method, because this is the perfect size to give me that support underneath my neck. Gives me that insulation. Doesn't really wide enough where I can, you know, if I'm moving side to side, you know, I've kind of always have to keep moving it with me. But, you know, that's not a big deal. I normally sleep on my back anyway. But this was a great option, and one that I really liked, except when I started getting cold in the night, then I'd have to take it, put it on, and now I no longer have a pillow. Another type of pillow that I use is my clothes bag. I've tried this before, so I can take my Puffy out, but in here I can have, you know, the clothes that I've hiked in that day, the extra pair of socks. I would put my rain jacket, you know, stuff like that in here, and that will give me enough volume that I can use it as a pillow. The only issue I have with this one is it's kind of lumpy. You know, whenever you're trying to sleep with a clothes bag, obviously there can be lumps on either side, and it can it's not always the most comfortable. I do like that it's a little wider than my Puffy, so I can roll from kind of like side to side, and my pillow is there. I don't have to keep readjusting it in the night. But, you know, it's not the most comfortable. It's workable. It's definitely doable if you're trying to save weight and not wanting to bring an extra pillow. It's just lumpy, you know, and so it's not necessarily my go-to. So if you've seen some of my other videos, I'll typically like to put this underneath my legs for support when I'm sleeping in my hammock, and then that works great. Another pillow option I like to use is this Thermamus, which has some compression to it. This is a very extremely comfortable pillow. It kind of cradles my head, which I like. It's wide enough where, again, I can move side to side and it'll cover me. It gives me the insulation and the support that I need. Really, the only issue with this is that if I'm going to bring a pillow, it's just kind of big. You know, it doesn't compress down very well like some of the inflatable pillows. It is very comfortable. So if I'm car camping, this is the pillow that I will take with me if weight doesn't matter. But it is a comfortable pillow. It is an option, but one that I typically will not be taking with me when I go hammock camping, because I think there's a better option. And let's see what that one is. So this is my go-to pillow for backpacking when I'm in a hammock. It's the inflatable ones. And I really like the Aerosummit. This is the Aeros Ultralight Regular, which is great. And I love it because it has this kind of soft outer shell, which is very comfortable. It packs down really, really small, only weighs a couple of ounces. And then I like being able to control the how much air goes in this. So for me, I almost half deflate it, right? Because I want it to kind of cushion my head, right? I want it to kind of curl up around my head. Otherwise, if it's too full, I feel like, again, my neck is just straining up, and I don't want to sleep like that throughout the night. When I deflate it, it allows it to kind of wrap around my ears and my head, which is what I like. It has the width where I can move from kind of side to side on it without having to constantly readjust it like my Puffy. So this is my pillow of choice. I'll always bring my clothes bag because I like having the support underneath my legs. But this will be the pillow that I will always choose on my backpacking trips when I go hammock camping. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Those are a few different options that you can try for a pillow in your hammock. Again, for me, my go-to pillow is the inflatable Aerosummit Aeros pillow, but that's what works best for me. I would say try out these different options and see which one works best for you. Thanks for watching.